The alien's threat. In the vast reaches of space, a powerful alien commander sat in his grand command chamber. The room was filled with advanced technology and screens displaying star maps and images of different planets. The commander, a tall and imposing figure with sharp features and glowing eyes, was known across the galaxy for his ruthless conquests. The commander's name was Zalor, and his reputation was built on fear. He had never met an enemy he couldn't conquer, and he prided himself on his ability to crush any resistance. His latest target was Earth, a small blue planet that had recently come onto his radar. Zalor had observed humans from afar and found them weak and primitive. He decided it was time to teach them a lesson in humility. In a meeting with his top officers, Zalor made a dramatic announcement. His voice was cold and commanding as he spoke. "We have waited long enough. Earth's time has come. Prepare to unleash the beast." The room buzzed with activity as his officers scrambled to follow his orders. The beast was a fearsome creature, engineered for one purpose: destruction. It had been bred in the darkest corners of Zalor's empire, a living weapon of immense power. Zalor continued, "Let them see the true power of our technology. Show them that their weapons are nothing compared to our might." The officers nodded in agreement, their faces reflecting a mix of excitement and anticipation. They knew that unleashing the beast would be a spectacle that would shake Earth to its core. Back on Earth, the news of the impending threat spread quickly. Governments and leaders held emergency meetings to discuss the situation. People everywhere were frightened, unsure of what to expect. Amidst the chaos, Dr. Emily Carter, a scientist known for her work in bioengineering, was trying to make sense of the situation. Emily was in her lab, working on her latest project, when she received the alarming news. Her computer screens flashed with updates about the beast and the alien threat. She read about the beast's destructive capabilities and the alien commander's reputation. While most people were panicking, Emily felt a strange sense of calm. She had always been curious about the unknown, and this situation was no different. Emily called a meeting with her team. They gathered in a conference room, their faces tense but determined. "We have a unique opportunity here," Emily began. "We need to understand this beast, not just as a threat, but as a creature. There might be more to it than what we've been told." Her team, consisting of experts in various fields, looked at each other with a mix of skepticism and hope. They had been working on cutting-edge research involving bioengineering, and Emily's suggestion was a chance to apply their knowledge in a real-world scenario. "What's the plan, Emily?" asked one of her team members. Emily explained, "We need to gather as much information as we can. We'll start by observing the beast from a safe distance. We should document its behavior, its reactions, and anything else we can learn. This will help us understand it better and find a way to deal with it." As preparations began, Emily and her team set up observation posts around the expected landing site of the beast. They used drones and high-tech sensors to monitor the creature from afar. Emily's curiosity drove her to learn more about the beast, and she was determined to approach the situation scientifically. The day arrived when the beast was scheduled to make its appearance. Zalor's forces had chosen a remote area for the landing, away from major cities but close enough to create a significant impact. The skies darkened as the massive alien spacecraft descended. The beast was inside, contained in a special chamber designed to keep it restrained until it was released. Emily and her team watched from their observation posts, their equipment ready. The spacecraft landed with a resounding thud, and the air crackled with energy. The doors of the spacecraft opened and the beast emerged. It was a massive creature with scales like armor and eyes that glowed with an eerie light. Its roar echoed across the landscape, sending tremors through the ground. The beast began its rampage, tearing through the area with terrifying strength. Trees were uprooted, and the ground was scarred by its immense power. People in nearby towns and cities watched in horror as the destruction unfolded. News reports showed images of the chaos, and the world held its breath, waiting for the next move. Emily's team focused on their mission, using their equipment to capture data on the beast's behavior. They watched as the creature moved with a mix of brute force and surprising agility. Despite its ferocity, Emily noticed something odd. The beast seemed to be reacting to its surroundings in a way that suggested intelligence. This observation intrigued her and gave her a glimmer of hope. As the hours passed, Emily and her team continued their work. They gathered as much information as they could, determined to find a way to understand and, if possible, influence the beast's actions. Emily knew that this was only the beginning, and the real challenge would be to find a way to turn the situation to their advantage. The scene on Earth was one of fear and uncertainty, but Emily's resolve remained strong. She was driven by her curiosity and her belief that understanding the beast could lead to a solution. As the day ended, she and her team prepared for the next phase of their mission, knowing that the fate of Earth might hinge on their ability to decode the mysteries of this formidable creature. Meeting Dr. Carter. Emily Carter was not a name that often made headlines. She was a scientist, known for her quiet dedication to her research on bioengineering. Her lab, located in a modest building on the outskirts of a bustling city, was a world of its own, filled with glass beakers, complex machines, and stacks of research papers. It was here that Emily spent most of her time, working on projects that often seemed too advanced for the everyday challenges of life. That morning, Emily was absorbed in her work. Her desk was cluttered with notes and open textbooks, and she was hunched over a microscope, analyzing samples for a new project. Her focus was interrupted by the sudden buzz of her phone. Glancing at the screen, she saw an urgent message from her research team. The message read, "Dr. Carter, have you seen the news? There's an alien threat. They're unleashing something called the Beast on Earth. We need to discuss this immediately." Emily's curiosity was piqued. She quickly finished her work, tidied her desk, and headed to the conference room. Her team was already gathered, their faces a mix of concern and determination. Emily entered and took her seat at the head of the table. "Okay, everyone," Emily said, trying to sound calm despite the gravity of the situation. "Let's get up to speed. What do we know about this beast?" One of her team members, Dr. Raj Patel, who specialized in alien biology, spoke up. "The beast is described as a living weapon created to cause maximum destruction. It's been bred by the aliens to be a fearsome opponent. The reports suggest it's nearly unstoppable." Emily listened carefully. The information was daunting, but she was also intrigued. "I've been thinking," she began, "that there might be more to this creature than just being a weapon. If we understand the beast, we might be able to find a way to deal with it." The room fell silent as her team considered her words. Emily continued, "We need to approach this scientifically. If we observe its behavior and gather data, we might discover weaknesses or even ways to communicate with it." Dr. Aisha Khan, a leading expert in animal behavior, raised her hand. "But how do we even get close to it? It's supposed to be extremely dangerous." Emily nodded. "That's a valid concern. We'll use remote sensors and drones to start with. Our goal is to observe from a safe distance and collect as much information as possible." The team began to prepare for the mission. They gathered equipment and set up observation posts using the latest technology. The atmosphere was tense, but there was also a sense of purpose. Emily's leadership and calm demeanor helped keep everyone focused. As the day progressed, Emily and her team received real-time updates about the beast's landing site. The alien spacecraft had touched down in a remote area, and the beast was being released. Emily's heart raced with a mix of anxiety and excitement. This was the moment they had been preparing for. Emily and her team made their way to the observation area, a safe distance from the landing site, but close enough to get a clear view. The landscape was barren and rugged with a few scattered trees and rocks. The sky was a deep shade of gray, adding to the eerie atmosphere. Through the lenses of their high-tech equipment, Emily and her team watched as the beast emerged from the spacecraft. It was even more imposing than they had imagined. The creature was massive, with scales that shimmered in the dim light. Its roar echoed through the air, causing tremors in the ground. Emily focused on the data streaming in from the drones. The beast moved with a powerful grace, its eyes scanning the surroundings with an unsettling intelligence. Emily was struck by the contrast between its fearsome appearance and the curious way it interacted with its environment. "This isn't just a mindless beast," Emily said to her team. "Look at how it's exploring its surroundings. There's a level of awareness here that's surprising." Her team members nodded, their interest growing. Dr. Patel pointed out some interesting data. The beast seems to be reacting to environmental changes. It's not just attacking randomly, it's almost like it's testing its surroundings. Emily agreed. That's what I've noticed too. If we can understand its behavior, we might be able to predict its actions and find a way to influence them. As the observation continued, Emily's thoughts were focused on the potential for communication. If the beast was capable of understanding its environment, could it also respond to attempts at communication? She decided that they needed to explore this possibility further. After hours of observation, the team packed up their equipment and headed back to their lab. Emily was deep in thought, her mind racing with possibilities. The beast was not just a threat, it was a puzzle waiting to be solved. Back in the lab, Emily reviewed the data collected during the day. The information was fascinating and suggested that the beast had more complexity than the initial reports had indicated. She began to formulate a plan to test her hypothesis about the creature's ability to communicate. Her team was tired but excited about the next steps. They knew that the mission was risky, but Emily's determination and leadership inspired confidence. They were ready to take on the challenge, driven by the hope that understanding the beast could lead to a solution. As the sun set and the lab grew quiet, Emily looked out the window, reflecting on the day's events. The threat of the beast was still looming, but for the first time she felt a glimmer of hope. The journey ahead would be difficult, but with curiosity and determination, she believed they could make a difference. And so, with a new sense of purpose, Emily and her team prepared for the next phase of their mission. The story of the beast was far from over, and the path to understanding it was just beginning. The beast arrives. The day had arrived, and anticipation filled the air as Emily Carter and her team prepared for the beast's grand entrance. They were stationed in a remote observation area, a safe distance from the designated landing site. The sky was overcast, adding to the tense atmosphere. Emily's team was set up with high-tech equipment, their eyes glued to their screens as they awaited the arrival of the alien creature. The distant rumble of an approaching spacecraft was the first sign that the moment was near. Emily adjusted the lens on her drone camera, focusing on the horizon where dark clouds and a faint light indicated the spacecraft's descent. Her heart raced, but she maintained her calm demeanor, knowing that every detail of the beast's arrival would be crucial for their research. The spacecraft landed with a powerful thud, sending small tremors through the ground. The team watched intently as the massive craft's doors slowly opened. A cool, eerie mist began to seep out, shrouding the landing site in an unsettling atmosphere. Through the fog, the silhouette of the beast became visible, its large, menacing figure emerging from the spacecraft. The beast was even more imposing than Emily had anticipated. It stood towering over the landscape, its body covered in thick, dark scales that glistened in the dim light. Its eyes glowed with an intense, otherworldly light, and its powerful muscles rippled with each movement. A deep, resonant roar echoed across the area, shaking the ground and sending a chill down Emily's spine. The beast began its rampage, moving with a mix of raw power and precise calculation. Trees were uprooted, rocks were smashed, and the ground was scarred by its massive feet. The scene was chaotic, and the scale of the destruction was almost beyond comprehension. Emily and her team were awestruck by the sheer force of the beast's presence. Despite the destruction, Emily's focus remained on collecting data. She observed how the beast interacted with its environment, noting the way it seemed to carefully assess each area before causing damage. Her curiosity grew as she watched the creature's behavior. There was a method to its actions, a pattern that seemed more than just random destruction. Dr. Patel, one of Emily's team members, noticed something interesting. "Emily, look at this," he said, pointing to the data on his screen. The beast's movements are not just destructive, they follow a specific pattern. It's almost like it's mapping out the area. Emily leaned in to examine the data. "You're right. It's not just attacking everything in sight. It's as if it's testing the boundaries of its environment. This could mean that it's more aware of its surroundings than we thought." The team continued to monitor the beast from their safe vantage point. They used drones to capture detailed footage, which they reviewed in real time. The creature's behavior was complex, and Emily began to form a hypothesis about its possible motives and capabilities. As the hours passed, the initial shock of the beast's arrival began to wear off, and Emily's team settled into a routine of observation and analysis. They recorded every detail, from the beast's movements to its reactions to environmental changes. Emily's mind was buzzing with questions and theories. Could the beast be more than just a weapon? Was there a way to communicate with it or influence its actions? As night fell, the beast's rampage showed no signs of stopping. Its roars echoed through the darkened landscape, and the team could see its glowing eyes piercing through the darkness. Emily knew that their work was far from over. Understanding the beast's behavior was just the first step. Finding a way to manage or possibly even control it would be the real challenge. Emily gathered her team for a quick briefing. We've gathered a lot of data today, and it's clear that the beast is not just a mindless creature. There's intelligence in its actions, and we need to explore this further. Tomorrow, we'll try to get closer and see if there's any way to establish some form of communication. The team nodded, their determination renewed. They had seen the destructive power of the beast, but they were also motivated by the possibility of discovering something new. Emily's leadership and vision inspired them to push forward, despite the risks. As they packed up their equipment for the night, Emily took one last look at the beast through her drone's camera. The creature was still active, moving through the wreckage it had created. It was a sight both terrifying and mesmerizing, a reminder of the challenge that lay ahead. Emily returned to the lab, where she and her team began analyzing the data they had collected. The information was intriguing, but incomplete. They needed more to understand the beast fully, and to devise a plan for the next phase of their mission. The night was quiet, and the lab was filled with the hum of computers and the soft chatter of Emily's team. They worked late into the night, driven by the desire to unlock the secrets of the beast. Each member of the team was focused on their task, knowing that the fate of their mission, and possibly the future of Earth, rested on their ability to decode the creature's behavior. As dawn approached, Emily felt a renewed sense of purpose. The beast had arrived and had made its presence known with a display of power that left no room for doubt. But Emily was determined to face this challenge head-on. She knew that understanding the beast was the key to overcoming the threat it posed. With the data collected and the first day of observation complete, Emily and her team prepared for the next phase of their mission. The journey to unravel the mysteries of the beast had only just begun, and the path ahead was filled with both danger and opportunity. The beast's soft side. The early morning light filtered through the observation windows as Emily Carter and her team reviewed the data from the previous day. Despite the chaos and destruction caused by the beast, Emily was eager to continue her investigation. She had a hunch that there was more to the creature than its fearsome exterior suggested. The team gathered around their screens, analyzing the footage and data collected. Emily's curiosity had been piqued by a peculiar detail. Amidst the destruction, there were moments when the beast seemed to exhibit unexpected behavior. It was as if between its rampages the creature displayed moments of gentleness and curiosity. Dr. Aisha Khan, who had been examining the footage, spoke up. "Emily, look at this. There are instances where the beast interacts with its environment in a very deliberate way. It's almost as if it's exploring rather than just destroying." Emily studied the screen closely. "You're right. It's almost like the beast is curious about its surroundings. Maybe it's not just a weapon. Maybe it has a more complex nature." Determined to uncover more, Emily and her team decided to set up a new observation strategy. They wanted to see if they could capture more of these curious moments and understand what drove the beast's behavior. They adjusted their equipment to focus on areas where the beast had shown less destructive tendencies. The team deployed their drones and positioned their sensors in a way that would allow them to observe the beast from different angles. As they waited for the creature's next move, Emily couldn't shake the feeling that there was a softer side to the beast waiting to be discovered. The hours passed slowly, but then a surprising sight appeared on their screens. The beast, having completed its latest rampage, settled down in an open area. Instead of continuing its destruction, it began to interact with its surroundings in a surprisingly gentle manner. The creature sniffed the ground, examined the plants, and even carefully touched a fallen tree branch with its massive claws. Emily watched in amazement. Look at that. It's not attacking anything. It's like it's exploring and investigating. Dr. Patel adjusted his camera for a closer view. It's fascinating. It seems to be handling the environment with more care than we expected. As the team observed, they saw the beast approach a small group of animals that had been displaced by its earlier rampage. The beast paused and watched them with a strange, almost gentle curiosity. The animals, though initially frightened, seemed to calm down in the presence of the beast, as if sensing no immediate threat. Emily's eyes widened. This is incredible. The beast isn't just reacting aggressively, it's showing an interest in other life forms. It's almost like it's trying to understand them. The team continued to document the beast's behavior. The creature's interactions were carefully recorded, revealing a side of the beast that was unexpected and intriguing. It was clear that there was more to this creature than its reputation for destruction. As the day progressed, Emily decided it was time to share their findings with a broader audience. She called a meeting with her team to discuss their next steps. We've seen something remarkable today. The beast isn't just a mindless weapon. It has moments of curiosity and gentleness. This could change everything we thought we knew about it. Dr. Khan nodded in agreement. If the beast has a softer side, it could mean that we have a chance to communicate with it or at least influence its behavior in a positive way. Emily agreed. Our next step is to develop a strategy for approaching the beast safely and attempting to communicate with it. We need to find a way to connect with it and understand its motives. The team began to plan their approach. They discussed various methods for safely interacting with the beast and how they might use their knowledge of its softer side to their advantage. Emily knew that the challenge was significant, but the possibility of finding common ground with the creature was an exciting prospect. That evening, as the sun set and the sky darkened, Emily and her team made final preparations for their new mission. They carefully selected equipment that would allow them to communicate with the beast while minimizing any risk. The team's excitement was palpable, and Emily felt a renewed sense of hope. As they set out for the observation area, Emily reflected on the day's discoveries. The beast's gentle interactions had opened up new possibilities. It was no longer just a destructive force, but a complex creature with the potential for understanding and connection. The team arrived at the observation site and set up their equipment for the night. They were eager to see if the beast would exhibit similar behavior and if they could build on the discoveries of the day. As darkness fell, the beast reappeared on their screens. It moved through the area with a sense of purpose, but this time it seemed more relaxed. Emily and her team watched closely, ready to document any further signs of the beast's softer side. The night was quiet, and the air was filled with anticipation. Emily and her team waited, knowing that the next steps in their mission would be crucial. The beast had shown them a glimpse of its gentler side, and they were determined to explore this new aspect of the creature. As the hours passed, the beast continued to exhibit curious and gentle behavior. It seemed to be settling into a routine, interacting with its environment in a way that suggested a deeper level of awareness. Emily's team worked tirelessly, capturing every moment and analyzing the data. They knew that their discoveries had the potential to change the course of their mission and perhaps even the fate of their world. The day's events had revealed a new dimension to the beast, one that was both surprising and hopeful. Emily and her team were determined to continue their work, driven by the possibility of unlocking the secrets of this remarkable creature. With each passing hour, the beast's behavior provided more insights, and the team's resolve grew stronger. They were on the brink of discovering something extraordinary, and they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The beast's story. The sun had barely risen when Emily Carter and her team gathered at their observation post. They had witnessed the beast's softer side the previous day and were eager to learn more. Today, they hoped to uncover the story behind the creature's complex behavior. Emily knew that understanding the beast's past could be the key to interacting with it in a meaningful way. The team reviewed the footage and data from their recent observations, looking for any clues about the beast's origins and history. Emily and Dr. Patel were focused on a series of unusual markings they had seen on the creature's scales. These markings seemed to form patterns, almost like a form of communication or record. Dr. Patel zoomed in on one particular section of the footage. "Emily, look at this." The markings on the beast's scales seemed to change based on its actions. "It's almost like it's telling a story." Emily leaned closer to the screen. "Interesting. If these markings are a form of communication, they might hold important information about the beast's past. We need to find a way to interpret them." The team decided to use their drones to get a closer look at the markings. They carefully maneuvered their equipment around the beast, capturing detailed images of the creature's scales. As they analyzed the data, they noticed that the markings appeared to be grouped into distinct patterns, each representing different stages of the beast's life. Emily gathered her team for a briefing. "Based on our observations, it looks like the beast's markings might be recording its experiences and memories. If we can decipher these patterns, we might be able to learn more about its past." Dr. Khan suggested we should compare these markings with known patterns from other alien cultures. There might be similarities that could help us understand what they mean. The team worked diligently, cross-referencing the beast's markings with various sources. They consulted with experts in alien languages and symbols, trying to find any connections. As they pieced together the information, a clearer picture began to emerge. The beast's markings told a story of survival and struggle. They revealed that the creature had once been part of a thriving world, a place rich with life and beauty. However, the world had been devastated by war and conflict, leaving the beast and its kind as some of the last survivors. Emily and her team were shocked by the revelation. The beast's aggression and destruction were not just random acts of violence, but a response to the trauma it had endured. The markings showed scenes of battles, the loss of friends and family, and the struggle to find a new home. Dr. Patel's voice was filled with empathy. "No wonder the beast acts the way it does. It has experienced immense suffering and loss. Its behavior might be a response to the pain it's endured." Emily nodded in agreement. "Understanding the beast's past helps explain its actions. We need to approach it with compassion and find a way to offer support. The beast isn't just a weapon, it's a sentient being that has been deeply affected by its experiences." The team decided to develop a plan to communicate with the beast and offer it a sense of safety and understanding. They designed a series of signals and messages that they hoped would resonate with the creature and show that they meant no harm. As they prepared their new approach, Emily felt a renewed sense of purpose. The beast's story had shifted their mission from merely observing to actively seeking to help and understand. She was determined to find a way to make a positive impact on the creature's life. The team ventured to the observation site with their new plan in place. They set up their equipment to project the signals they had designed and positioned their drones to capture the beast's response. Emily hoped that their message would be received and that they could begin to build a bridge between their worlds. When the beast arrived, it approached the area with its usual caution. Emily watched as the creature observed the signals being projected. At first, the beast seemed wary, but as it continued to watch, its demeanor began to change. It moved closer to the signals, its glowing eyes focused intently. The team held their breath, waiting to see how the beast would react. Slowly, the creature began to respond. It touched the ground near the signals with its claws and made gentle noises that seemed to indicate curiosity rather than aggression. Emily felt a glimmer of hope as she saw this positive response. Dr. Khan spoke softly. "It's engaging with the signals. This is a good sign. It means the beast is open to communication." As the hours passed, the beast continued to interact with the signals, showing increasing interest and understanding. It seemed to recognize that the team's intentions were peaceful and that they wanted to connect. Emily and her team were encouraged by the progress. They knew that building trust with the beast would take time, but they were optimistic about the future. The beast's story had given them valuable insights, and they were determined to continue their efforts to help the creature heal from its past traumas. That evening, Emily reflected on the day's events. The beast's story had changed everything. What had started as a mission to observe a powerful alien weapon had transformed into an opportunity to connect with a sentient being in need of support. Emily felt a deep sense of responsibility and hope. As the team prepared to leave the observation site, they knew that their work was far from over. The beast's journey was a complex one, and there was still much to learn and understand. But Emily was confident that with continued effort and compassion, they could make a difference in the beast's life. The day's discoveries had opened up new possibilities, and Emily was eager to see where the journey would lead. The beast's story was a reminder of the power of empathy and the importance of understanding, and it had inspired the team to continue their mission with renewed dedication. A new plan. The sun was setting over the observation site as Emily Carter and her team gathered for their evening briefing. The day's interactions with the beast had been promising, but they knew that their efforts were just beginning. After uncovering the beast's tragic past, it was clear that a new approach was needed to build trust and help the creature heal. Emily addressed her team with a determined expression. "We've made significant progress in understanding the beast, but now we need a new plan. We can't just observe anymore, we need to actively work on establishing a bond with it." Dr. Khan, who had been analyzing the data, spoke up. "Based on the beast's reactions, it seems like it responds well to positive reinforcement. We should focus on creating an environment where it feels safe and appreciated." Dr. Patel nodded. "We've also seen that the beast has a strong connection to its past. If we can incorporate elements that remind it of its former world, it might help ease its pain and make it more receptive to our efforts." Emily agreed. "Let's design a plan that combines these insights. We'll create a safe space for the beast, using signals and stimuli that evoke positive memories. At the same time, we'll gradually introduce elements that can help the beast adapt to its new environment." The team began brainstorming ideas. They decided to set up a new observation area that resembled some aspects of the beast's home world. They planned to use holographic projections to recreate scenes from the beast's past, such as lush landscapes and peaceful environments. They also decided to include sounds and smells that might be familiar to the creature. As they worked on the setup, Emily was excited about the possibilities. She knew that creating a positive environment for the beast was crucial for their success. The team carefully designed each element, making sure it would be as authentic and comforting as possible. The next day, the team began installing the new features. They set up holographic projectors to display images of vibrant forests and clear skies. They added speakers to play soothing sounds like flowing water and gentle rustling leaves. Additionally, they included scent dispensers to mimic the smells of the beast's home world, such as fresh vegetation and earthy aromas. Emily and her team worked tirelessly, ensuring that every detail was perfect. They wanted the new environment to feel like a genuine refuge for the beast. As the final touches were made, Emily felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. The success of their plan depended on the beast's reaction. When everything was ready, Emily and her team prepared for the beast's arrival. They watched from a safe distance as the creature approached the new setup. The beast seemed curious and cautiously optimistic. It moved closer to the holographic projections, its glowing eyes reflecting the images of its former world. The team observed closely, noting the beast's reactions. The creature paused near the projections and sniffed the air, clearly intrigued by the familiar scents. It began to explore the area, its movements slow and deliberate. Emily could see a noticeable change in the beast's demeanor. It seemed more relaxed and interested rather than aggressive and fearful. Dr. Patel whispered, "The beast is responding positively. It's engaging with the environment and seems more at ease." Emily smiled with relief. "This is a great start. The positive reinforcement appears to be working. Let's continue to monitor its behavior and adjust our approach as needed." Over the next few days, the beast spent more time in the new environment. It appeared to be adjusting well, exploring the area with curiosity, and even playing with some of the holographic projections. Emily and her team were encouraged by the creature's growing comfort and engagement. To further build trust, the team decided to introduce interactive elements. They designed a set of tools and toys that the beast could use to play and explore. These items were carefully crafted to be safe and stimulating, providing both mental and physical enrichment. Emily and Dr. Khan placed the new items in the observation area and waited for the beast's reaction. When the creature arrived, it immediately showed interest in the new toys. It used its claws to gently interact with the items, demonstrating a level of playfulness that had not been seen before. Dr. Khan was excited. "This is fantastic. The beast is engaging with the toys and seems to be enjoying itself. It's a sign that our plan is having a positive effect." Emily agreed. "We're making progress, but we need to keep moving forward. Let's continue to observe the beast and look for more ways to support its adjustment." As the days went by, the beast's behavior continued to improve. It became more active and interactive, and its aggression decreased. Emily and her team were pleased with the results, but knew that their work was far from finished. They needed to ensure that the beast's new environment remained supportive and that their efforts had a lasting impact. Emily also began considering ways to integrate the beast into a broader plan for its future. She knew that providing a positive environment was just the first step. The next challenge would be finding a way to help the beast build a new life and perhaps even create a lasting bond with those who had once feared it. The team continued to refine their approach, incorporating feedback from their observations and adjusting their methods as needed. They were committed to helping the beast transition to its new life and finding a way to ensure its well-being. The new plan was proving to be successful, and Emily felt hopeful about the future. The beast's story had touched her deeply, and she was determined to make a difference in its life. With each passing day, the team moved closer to achieving their goal of creating a harmonious relationship between the creature and its new world. As the sun set once again over the observation site, Emily looked out at the beast, now comfortably exploring its new environment. She felt a sense of accomplishment and anticipation for the future. The journey ahead was filled with challenges, but with continued dedication and compassion, Emily and her team were ready to face whatever lay ahead. The final meeting. The morning light filtered through the observation site as Emily Carter prepared for the final meeting with the beast. The team had worked tirelessly to create a supportive environment, and the day had come to assess the progress and discuss the future. Emily felt a mix of anticipation and nervousness, knowing that this meeting would be crucial for the next steps. The team gathered in their briefing room, reviewing the latest observations. The beast had been adapting well to its new environment, showing signs of increased comfort and engagement. Emily knew that this meeting was an opportunity to solidify their progress and ensure that the beast's transition was on the right track. Dr. Patel looked up from the data tablet. "Emily, the beast's behavior has been very positive lately. It's interacting with the environment and the new toys, and its aggression levels have dropped significantly." Emily nodded. "That's encouraging news. Today, we need to focus on how to maintain this positive momentum. We should also consider long-term plans to support the beast's continued adjustment." Dr. Khan chimed in. "We've made great strides, but we need to be prepared for any challenges that might arise. It's important to have a solid plan in place for ongoing support." Emily agreed. "Absolutely. We've come a long way, but our work isn't finished. Let's finalize our approach for today's meeting and make sure we address any potential issues." The team headed to the observation area, where the beast was already exploring its environment. Emily and her team approached with a sense of purpose, ready to engage in their final discussion. They had prepared a series of signals and messages to communicate their intentions and gather feedback from the beast. As they set up their equipment, Emily glanced at the beast, which was curiously watching their activities. The creature's demeanor was calm and inquisitive, a sign of the progress they had made. Emily hoped that this meeting would be a turning point in solidifying their relationship with the beast. Once everything was in place, Emily began the meeting by projecting a series of calming signals and images. She wanted to reinforce the positive associations the beast had developed with its new environment. The holographic projections displayed scenes of peaceful landscapes and soothing visuals. The beast approached the projections, its glowing eyes reflecting the images. It seemed to recognize the familiar scenes and responded with interest. Emily could see that the creature was comfortable and engaged, a positive sign for their final discussion. Dr. Patel spoke softly. "The beast is interacting with the signals as expected. It's a good indicator that it's receptive to our efforts." Emily took a deep breath and addressed the beast. We've worked hard to create a safe and supportive environment for you. Our goal is to help you adjust to your new life and ensure that you feel comfortable and secure." The beast looked at Emily with curiosity, its large eyes focused on her. It made a soft noise, as if acknowledging her words. Emily took this as a positive sign and continued. "We want to hear from you," Emily said. "If there's anything you need, or if there are ways we can improve your environment, please let us know. We're here to support you," Dr. Khan added. "We also want to discuss plans for the future. Our goal is to create a sustainable and positive environment for you. We want to make sure that you have everything you need to thrive." The beast seemed to understand the intent behind their words. It moved closer to the projections and touched the holographic images with its claws, as if expressing its appreciation. Emily and her team watched closely, interpreting the beast's responses. Emily felt a surge of optimism. "It looks like the beast is happy with the current setup. Let's continue to monitor its behavior and make adjustments as needed." The team discussed potential improvements to the environment, including additional enrichment activities and ongoing support. They also considered ways to integrate the beast into a broader plan, including potential collaborations with other organizations that could offer further assistance. As the meeting progressed, Emily and her team made a commitment to stay involved and provide ongoing support. They knew that building a lasting bond with the beast would require continued effort and dedication. The beast's reactions during the meeting were positive and reassuring. It seemed to appreciate the team's efforts and responded with increasing trust and engagement. Emily felt a deep sense of satisfaction, knowing that their work had made a significant difference in the beast's life. As the day drew to a close, Emily reflected on the journey they had undertaken. The final meeting had been a success, and the beast's progress was a testament to the team's hard work and compassion. They had turned a challenging situation into an opportunity for growth and connection. Emily looked out at the beast, which was now comfortably exploring its environment with newfound curiosity. She felt hopeful about the future and the possibilities that lay ahead. The team's efforts had paved the way for a positive and supportive relationship with the creature. With the final meeting complete, Emily and her team prepared to continue their work, knowing that they had made a lasting impact. They were committed to ensuring the beast's well-being and were excited about the potential for future collaborations and discoveries. The journey had been challenging, but the rewards were immense. Emily felt grateful for the opportunity to make a difference in the beast's life and was eager to see how their continued efforts would shape the future. The final meeting had been a milestone, marking the beginning of a new chapter in their relationship with the beast. As Emily and her team left the observation site, they carried with them a sense of accomplishment and hope. The path ahead was filled with possibilities, and they were ready to face whatever challenges and opportunities lay ahead. The journey had been a testament to the power of understanding and compassion, and Emily was excited to continue making a positive impact in the beast's life.